On Christmas Eve of 1971, the fate of Juliane Koepcke took a sinister turn.
A Lockheed Electra, carrying 92 passengers and crew, took off from Lima, Peru, heading to Pucallpa. The skies were clear, or so everyone thought. Shortly into the flight, however, a violent thunderstorm brewed. Lightning struck the plane, causing it to shudder and shake violently. The sounds of panic echoed as mothers clutched their children, and fathers whispered prayers. Amidst the chaos, Juliane, a mere 17 years old, remained calm, perhaps due to her upbringing as the daughter of naturalists. "Hold on tight," shouted the pilot, his voice barely cutting through the screams. The plane began to plummet. It was a surreal descent for Juliane as the ground rushed toward her.
She could see the lush green canopy of the Amazon rainforest below.
But there would be no rescue, she was about to fall from the sky.
With a deafening crash, the plane hit the ground, and everything went dark. In that heart-stopping moment before impact, Juliane Koepcke felt weightless, her body untethered from reality. She later described it as if time slowed down. The last thing she recalled was the terrifying sound of ripping metal, the screaming of others, and then silence. Miraculously, Juliane woke up.
She was alone, surrounded by wreckage and the unmistakable scent of fresh earth and burnt wood. Suddenly, she realized she had survived the crash. But her body was injured, she had a deep gash on her leg and was disoriented from the fall.
"Hello?
Is anyone there?" she called weakly into the thick, humid air, but all she received was a haunting echo of her own voice. The reality of her situation began to sink in. She was alone in the Amazon rainforest, a place notorious for its deadly wildlife and unforgiving terrain.
The Amazon rainforest is often romanticized as a paradise of biodiversity, but for Juliane, it was a relentless, unforgiving realm.
Stretching over 5.5 million square kilometers, it is home to vibrant flora and fauna, but also countless dangers. Venomous snakes, jaguars, and insects lurk in every shadow.
As Juliane surveyed her surroundings, the enormity of her task began to dawn on her.
She needed to find food, water, and shelter, but most importantly, she needed a way out. The air was thick with humidity, making her sweat cling to her skin. She remembered her mother's teachings about survival. "Find a water source first," she whispered to herself, pushing through the undergrowth. Each step was painful, but she pressed on, driven by the sheer will to survive. As the sun dipped below the horizon, darkness enveloped the forest.
The sounds of the jungle came alive, chirping insects, rustling leaves, and distant animal cries. Juliane found a fallen tree and decided to rest beneath it, but sleep was elusive. The fear of the unknown gnawed at her. "What if I never get out of here?" she thought, her heart racing. She could hear the faint calls of creatures she could not see, their eyes glinting in the moonlight. The air was cold, and her injury throbbed painfully, but she knew she had to stay alert. Just as she began to drift into a restless slumber, she was jolted awake by the sound of a creature moving nearby. "Is it a jaguar?" she wondered, paralyzed by fear. With adrenaline surging through her veins, she sat up, straining to see what was out there. Daylight brought a harsh reality. With daylight, Juliane had to confront her predicament head-on. She inspected her injuries, realizing they would require care, but she had no supplies. Her father had taught her about the medicinal properties of plants, but she had to rely on her instincts now. She limped through the underbrush, searching for anything edible. Juliane stumbled upon a stream, its crystal-clear water glistening in the sun. "Water," she exclaimed, drinking greedily. Her thirst quenched, she looked around for food. She remembered that certain fruits could be safe to eat, and after some trial and error, she found small berries. But the lack of protein would soon weigh heavily on her. "I need to find something more substantial," she thought, determination igniting in her chest. Each passing hour felt like an eternity, but Juliane pushed forward, her survival instincts kicking in. As Juliane navigated the wilderness, she encountered both beauty and danger.
A vibrant macaw flew overhead, its plumage a breathtaking splash of colors against the green. But the jungle was not just a wonderland, it was filled with lurking threats. One afternoon, while searching for food, an anaconda slithered by, its massive body glistening in the sunlight.
Juliane froze, her heart pounding.
What if it sees me, she thought, holding her breath and hoping to remain unnoticed. The snake passed by without a glance, but the close call intensified her sense of vulnerability. Every sound felt amplified, every rustle could be a predator.
Days turned into nights, and with each passing moment, Juliane learned to be more cautious, more aware of her surroundings. The Amazon's relentless environment was testing Juliane's limits.
Rain poured down in torrents, soaking her to the bone and making her injuries worse. The humidity was oppressive, and she often felt lightheaded. If I don't find shelter soon, I won't survive another night, she thought desperately.
She remembered her father's words about building a shelter from branches and leaves to stay dry.
After hours of toil, she created a makeshift haven, but it lacked the necessary resilience to withstand the downpours. Each time she thought she found a haven, nature would remind her of its power. This rainforest wants to claim me, she gritted her teeth, refusing to succumb. Instead, she embraced the struggle, pushing against the forces trying to defeat her.
After what felt like an eternity, Juliane's hope began to wane.
11 days had passed, and with each sunset, she felt weaker. But in the depths of her despair, she remembered a lesson: to never give up. She decided to follow the river downstream, believing it might lead to civilization. Each step was a battle against exhaustion, her leg injuries still throbbing with pain.
I can't stop now, she urged herself.
As she walked, she spotted a boat in the distance, but it was too far to reach. Help, she screamed, waving her arms, though she doubted anyone could hear her. The river could lead her to salvation or death, either way, she had to try. Her heart raced, knowing she was closer to rescue with every passing moment. On the 12th day, salvation came. A group of lumberjacks spotted her frail figure emerging from the underbrush, dirty and gaunt, yet alive. They rushed to her side, disbelief etched on their faces.
How are you alive? One asked, as they wrapped her in a blanket. Juliane could hardly speak, her throat was raw from dehydration.
As they drove her back to safety, she felt a surge of emotions: relief, gratitude, and an overwhelming sense of trauma. She was reunited with her mother, who had never lost hope.
In the aftermath, Juliane reflected on her harrowing ordeal.
The Amazon had tested her in ways she could have never imagined. I learned that the will to survive is stronger than fear, she said, a testament to human resilience in the face of nature's darkest challenges.
Juliane Koepcke's story is not just about survival, it's a profound reminder of the strength of the human spirit.
Her ordeal became a legend, inspiring books and documentaries, and even a film. She often speaks at events, sharing her experiences, not just to tell her story but to highlight the importance of conservation and respect for nature. The jungle gave me life, but it also challenged me to my core, she states. Juliane's journey through the Amazon is a testament to courage, perseverance, and the will to survive against all odds. She became a voice for the voiceless creatures of the rainforest, advocating for its protection. Her legacy serves as a chilling reminder: in the face of nature's wrath, we must remain humble and respectful. Surviving such a traumatic event undoubtedly leaves scars that go deeper than physical injuries. Juliane has openly discussed her psychological struggles post-rescue. The sounds of the jungle, once a symphony of life, became haunting reminders of her isolation and fear. I would wake up screaming, reliving those moments, she confided. The trauma of being alone in the wild, battling both nature and her own mind, shaped her perspective on life.
Therapy became a vital tool for her recovery.
She learned to process her experiences, transforming her fear into strength.
Survival is not just about the body, it's about the mind too, she emphasizes, reminding us that emotional resilience is as crucial as physical endurance. Juliane's incredible survival story teaches us vital lessons about nature, resilience, and human spirit.
One of the most important lessons is the value of knowledge. Her upbringing in a scientific household gave her the tools to survive. She relied on her understanding of nature's resources. This highlights the importance of education in survival situations. It can mean the difference between life and death. Additionally, her experience emphasizes the significance of adaptability. Juliane had to shift her mindset from a passenger to a survivor, learning quickly to navigate the challenges of the Amazon. Every challenge she faced required her to adapt and overcome, a lesson that resonates beyond survival scenarios. In a world of uncertainty, the ability to adapt is crucial.
Juliane Koepcke's story is a testament to the power of knowledge, adaptability, and the relentless human spirit.
The Amazon rainforest itself is a treasure trove of mysteries, many of which remain unsolved.
Scientists continue to explore this vast ecosystem, revealing new species and complex interdependencies. However, the rainforest is also under threat from deforestation and climate change. Juliane's story highlights the delicate balance between humanity and nature.
As we continue to encroach upon these wild spaces, we must remember the lessons learned from those who have faced the wilderness.
The Amazon is not just a backdrop for Juliane's survival, it is a living entity, a rich tapestry of life that demands respect. Conservation efforts are crucial, as the Amazon plays a significant role in global ecology.
To protect it is to protect ourselves, and Juliane's story serves as a poignant reminder of that truth.
Imagine if Juliane Koepcke had not survived that fateful crash.
Her story, her lessons, and her voice for conservation would have remained unheard. The ripple effects of a single life can be profound. If she had perished that day, the world might not have learned from her incredible ordeal. The wilderness can be brutal, but it is also where we find some of the most profound lessons about life, resilience, and respect for our planet. Juliane's survival is a testament to what one person can endure, and it invites us to ponder the many untold stories of those who have not been as fortunate.
The question remains, in our quest for survival, what sacrifices do we make along the way? And, as we learn from Juliane's journey, how can we ensure that we give back to the wild spaces that sustain us? Today, Juliane is not just a survivor, she is an advocate, a speaker, and a voice for the voiceless.
She travels the world sharing her story, reminding us that survival extends far beyond the physical act. It's about carrying the message of respect for nature.
Juliane has worked with various organizations focused on conservation efforts, promoting the protection of the Amazon and its delicate ecosystems. She believes that by sharing her experience, she can inspire others to appreciate and protect our planet. Every tree, every river, every creature matters, she stresses emphatically. Her journey continues as she fights for the cause, transforming her trauma into a powerful call to action. Juliane Koepcke's life today is a testament to resilience, proving that even from the darkest experiences, light can emerge.